Good afternoon, my fellow colleagues. I want to appreciate every Nigerian that have taken pain and share in my pain at the same time. I want to appreciate all the pastors and the imam. But before I proceed on what I want to say today, I want to first of all introduce myself. My name is Comrade Nurse Ajibola Aishat, the lady whose appointment got terminated because I granted an interview on an online radio. That radio happened to be a radio that nurses discuss the matter as it affects their profession and how to better it and make some of the nurses to see reason why they should love their profession and defend their fellow colleague. So my appointment got terminated. I was given query letter. I answered it saying that I granted an interview without the authorization of the hospital, that I talk about the political and the administrative system of the hospital and that of the state, which is not true, because purely I discuss about my activism because it's from my own personal opinion. And I'm surprised that one Dr. Saliu is carrying information about saying all manners of things, even roping in Murik into his own report. I want to, as a matter of fact, condemn the report from one Dr. Saliu, who I don't know who is payrolling him to perform this character assassination, giving false information about me, saying he contacted me, and of which the information he asked me is different from what he presented in his own report. I'm just so surprised that he can do that without even taking part of my information at all, if at all he is true to the fact that he contacted me. As a matter of fact, when I even talk about the appeal letter I've written to the new board, I remember specifically that this same Dr. Saliu was like, am I not sure that I am simply appealing in this letter instead of contesting or protesting about the letter? So I simply told him I wanted to protest the letter or the termination of my appointment, but because my own husband told me no, that I have to write an appeal letter to the new board. And I also check my booklet, that is the regulation, staff regulation given to us. I discovered that we have to actually appeal. So I wrote the appeal letter. So even though I'm surprised that the CMD is using it against me in one of his press release on the 28th of December, that why am I begging? So that I even have a lawyer. When I have a lawyer, why can't I take my matter to court? Which I believe is not too fair. And I want to first of all let Nigerians know that this termination of my appointment is not from state government. My mind is telling me that the governor is not aware of what they are doing. Even though if governor is aware, he might be fed with false information, just like what Dr. Saliu have just done now. Because why I believe His Excellency will not do it is that when he came on board, people who were sacked, he brought them back into the system, showing that he is a lover of workers. So, and for him to now sack me when I did not commit professional negligence, neither do I commit professional misconduct, of which that is the basic reason why I'm employed in OOUTH is to care for my patients. I didn't do any of this. For him to terminate my appointment, I believe he's not the one. He's not the one. Even though the CMD told me that whatever they are doing here, the commissioner is aware of it, and the governor is aware of it. But I want to seriously believe and that His Excellency will not do that. I want to say these people that are doing this during this regime, they just want to tarnish the image of this administration. Because if they labor for this administration, they will not be doing this to this government. They want to use it against him in the next election. Because I'm very much sure these people that are doing this, they never work for Governor Dapo during the election, during the time that we are campaigning and during the election. They work for somebody else. If not, they will do everything to protect the administration of His Excellency. And I want to appeal to His Excellency to please, as a matter of fact, I have never, since I entered OOUTH in 2006, I have never contravened any of the law of OOUTH. I am very serious in taking care of my patients and I'm respectful to my fellow colleague. Those who felt I am not respectful to them, I want to believe that they have one personal thing against me, of which they have reason for it. But looping this information by this Dr. Saliu that I disrespect some of my colleagues and my senior, wallahi, he totally assassinated my character, and that is character assassination, and I'm not happy about what Dr. Saliu said about me, because I am being oppressed already, and he further oppressed me, and I am handing him over to God Almighty to help me to judge. So before I proceed, I want to tell you that everything I have written in that Save My Soul letter I wrote to Nigerians to come to my aid, all is true. The issue of union, I believe, is the one that predisposed me to the problem that I'm having today. And for the fact that I want to remain just to everyone, and I want to be transparent enough, and I want to be accountable enough. My journey into unionism started from Abeokuta when we attended the University Graduates of Nursing Science Association meeting at Aro, that is the Psychiatric Hospital. That was where the meeting first held. The meeting was held in August. There, that is, people who were in attendance are from OOUTH. The DDNS was there. The NAM chairman state was there. The NAM chairman unit was there, and some other dignitaries. There, somebody from Abeokuta nominated me to be their financial secretary, and they endorsed it from OOUTH representative that came. I started my work. Before I do anything, I will first of all go and seek permission from the ADNS then. She's now DDNS. So the journey started that I started feeling for the CNOs who have their degree for almost about 10 years, 12 years, without using their degree certificate for them, whereas the unified scheme of service, which was granted to all nurses throughout the federation, permit that anybody that have stayed for 3 years on CNO position will be promoted to the position of acting director of nursing services. 4 years on acting director of nursing services to acting acting deputy director, that is DDNS, the deputy director of nursing services. Just like that till we get to director of nursing services, because a graduate has his own entry point in the scheme and have the exit point in the scheme, while the RM have their entry point that is from the scheme of service and have their exit points at CNO level. So, and if I tell you, I will have a lot of letters we have written to that effect. This is one of it, and this letter was written to the CMD. As you can see, that is the stamp. And what is he talking about? He's talking about the placement of our nurses, that the graduates on proper placement and implementation of lateral conversion. So as this was going, nurses see the way and the zealousness I have towards my fellow nurses. I was still in school when some group of nurses invited me into NAM politics. I entered NAM politics in October same year. And I want to tell you, when I was operating at that level, because let me quickly tell you my position under that graduate association. I made the unit chairman of OOUTH, that is Ugonsa chairman. So having two positions at the same time, one in the state, one in the unit. On that platform, we are working. So it happened that we were asked to write a letter to the NAM association later to send a solidarity letter to NAM. So meanwhile, I'm also a member. I just said that some group of nurses called me that I should come and contest for NAM post, and I contested for the position of treasurer. I was voted for, and after the election, I discovered that everywhere is hostile. Meaning that there are some group of people they want to be in, that some group of people want to be in position, but by God's intervention, some other group emerged, of which I'm part of those groups that emerged as against what they wanted. So we started settling one case or the other to make sure that both the outgoing executive and incoming executive harmonize. We thank God for it. Come the day of handing over, that was another drama entirely. I want to tell you that during the handing over period day, many documents were given to the office of the secretary. So voluminous. And when it comes to my own office, the office of the treasurer, this is only what was given to me. This is only what was given to me. This is 4 years journey of their own sojourn into 4 years of their tenure. The one that concerns me most is this page. This is the total amount. Don't know whether you can see it. So that is the total amount that I was told is in the bank, which is 736,809 naira no kobo. That is what was handed over to me, and one scrub exercise book, and which of which, let me call this video now part 2 of my story. So I stopped in the other video when I got to the handing over. I've already shown you what was handed over to me, the money they said is in the bank. Then the other exercise book I'm talking about is this. You can see there is no even title to know what this book is meant for. So meanwhile, she told me it was used for the scrub that was bought for us when we started using scrub. So you can see the first page. So this is the second page. So you can see what is there. I can't even understand. There's a blank space. Then again we come here. So, and as a matter of fact, I can't comprehend what is there. I can't comprehend. So another blank place. Then we have this again. So she said this is what she used to record scrub. At least we should be able to know the total amount of scrub that was given or that was sold. The total amount it amount to at the end. We're supposed to know, but at least this I couldn't even understand, because the scrub was not even handed over to me. It was not handed over to me, so I don't know much about this. But aside this is not what I was even thinking is supposed to be document that will be handed over. I think the daily activities where income and expenditure is monitored or is recorded supposed to be handed over. Then impress book supposed to be handed over. None of this was handed over. Then I asked for checkbook. She said the checkbook is always with the chairman, and the chairman confirmed that she always put it in her bag, and sometimes she put it in her own drawer in her own department. So I was like, how will I start? Where will I start from? And if documents are handed over, it will guide the person that is coming in to know. Good afternoon once again. My name still remains Comrade Nurse Ajibola Aishat. This is part 3 of my story. In part 2, I stopped at not knowing where to start as a treasurer when nothing was handed over to me, except the previous sheet of paper that I showed to you, and that of the exercise book that they used to write a scrub, of which the scrub was not even handed over to me by the previous treasurer. So when I now ask, where do I start from when nothing is handed over to me, at least for a guide? They said nothing was handed over to anyone from the previous regime. So therefore, they have nothing to hand over to me. And the treasurer affirmed it to me that she will never hand over anything to me. And I said, okay, what do I do? The chairman said, if I want to be Mrs. Right, I should go and buy my exercise book and start afresh. I said, okay. I bought exercise book. I started using my brain the way I think. Write out the date, rule the prescription of items. I wrote the amount and the signature of somebody that will collect, or anybody that will collect money. I started dishing out money. That is on the 14/12/2018. I started using this exercise book. So this is the exercise book that I started using. So meanwhile, I asked them to sign. They started signing reluctantly. Later, they reported me to the state NAM chairman, who is Mrs. Sholari, and she's also a product of our own institution. So she came with one of her colleagues. I was also a member of our hospital, and they are both executive NAM officers at the state. They came and said, Ajibola, you are too official. You are too official. You don't have to tell them to sign. Don't have to tell them to sign. I now said, how, if they don't sign, how will I know the person that collect money from me? She instructed me that they must not sign. So that is what I wrote here. I wrote it here. So at the tail end here, that is, chairman said this column should not be signed. So I will continue like that. But I was, after about few days, it began to dawn on me that if I want to do, if maybe there is an argument sometimes to say who collect money, I will not be able to know because I can't put it on my head. I started writing their names. Anybody that collect money from me, I write the names. So later, the financial secretary, Mrs. Ade Akindeng, now requested me to do photocopy for her, hoping that she wants to use it to make her update. Not knowing that she wants to see whether what I'm doing with the association exercise book I got. That is how they started with me. Why am I writing their names? Why should they collect money and I wrote their names? I said, I'm sorry. In the bank, you collect money, you sign at the back of the check. Your signature will be there. So that is the reason I did that. Because why I'm narrating all this is because of the report from one Dr. Solio or one Dr. Salio saying I'm not obedient. If I am not obedient, when state NAM chairman told me they must not sign, why would I insist that they will be signed? I wrote it there. Chairman said, don't sign this space. Is that not obedient? Even though it is affecting me, because sometimes they will be arguing. When did they collect this money? But thank God for date and everything, and the prescription of items, what they use it for. I write it there. That has settled a lot of misunderstanding. So, and another problem ensued when it was few months into our office, and I want to be collating, at least to make the annual report easy for me. I requested for statement of account, of which they started raising eyebrow that I'm again looking for statement of account. I said they have embezzled money. I said they have embezzled money. Everywhere I go, Ajibola, why do you say your chairman embezzle money? In fact, they abused me. Even at a point, I was fed up. But those who care to listen to me, I told them, I never said that. No document is handed over to me. How would I have known whether somebody has embezzled money? I now requested it. The next thing, in anger, she told me, hey, you know where bank is? Go and request for financial statement of account. Don't disturb me here. I said, thank you. I went to the bank. I collected statement of account. That is where I have another problem with the chairman. When I got to the bank, I told you 700 something thousand they handed over. He said it's in the bank. On getting there, I met 3 million plus in the account. I don't know whether you can see it. I don't know whether you can see it. So it is not too clear. I don't know whether you can see it. But it's faint. It's faint. It's faint. So let me read it out what is there. 3,062,520 naira 79 kobo as against 700,000. Seeing this angered the NAM chairman, of which she even threatened to slap me, that henceforth I will not be in possession of this document. And she gave it to Pastor Razaki. So that is a big problem that I faced. Let us be open. Accountability is part of our job. Let us be accountable to our members. Their welfare is very important to us. A lot of issues. I face a lot of intimidation and tribulation. Up till now, I want to tell you, since 2018, we took over the office. We have never called Congress to give a financial report. I begged them so that we'll be able to prepare financial reports. None of them was cooperating with me. I have to single-handedly prepare 2018/2018 financial reports. I'll be begging them. Let us correct these things so they do not be Ajibola single-handedly prepare it, and that is why you don't know everything. Anytime I raise it in the meeting, they will postpone it until of recent, when they finally agreed to correct it. Meeting was about 2 days to Congress. We corrected it. Now let me work on it fast. I work on it fast. I burn candle overnight to prepare the financial report. And at the end of the day, they still told me, Ajibola, wait, we cannot present it. That is it. So not knowing that they are planning with the management to terminate my appointment. There are some money I gave the secretary, Pastor Razaki, and the chairman to travel to Abuja for national national conference. That is a nurses week. Simply because I asked for breakdown of what they use the money for. The one that has receipt, I should be given. The one that has no receipt, let it just write it somewhere and sign against it. So at least for auditing purpose, I became their expert. Commodity, I become their leader. So I want to tell you, if I open the chapter for commodity they took money to buy, that they never even up till now be accountable to 1 naira out of the money. I don't want to mention the amount because the amount is huge. So I don't know what I have done to them, whether it's a crime just to be on the side of being open, on the side of just be accountable to whatever that is putting in your custody, to be fair to everyone, stand for justice. I don't know whether it's done. So, for Dr. Saliu to say I have misunderstanding with the executive, he did not even bother to find out what was the problem. Most of the time, some people tell me, you are of minority, nobody will listen to you. Before anything, they will listen to them because they are closer to the management and closer to the government. I know, and that is why actually they were the one that handed it over to the management over things that is not related to management, as they said, that I talked about politics. So, when I said it, begging everybody to please prevail over this and give me my job back. I don't need any harm to anything other than let them be great. Let them be love. Let them be peace. Because when there is justice, this is what I'm preaching. Terminating my appointment at this time is not okay. Knowing fully well that I'm just recuperating. I did major surgery September 3rd last year, and 2 weeks away they deducted money from my salary. Despite the fact the nursing department made me to be on duty when I supposed to be on leave. Yes, I complain. If I talk, Ajibola, you are rude. Everything you are rude. Just because I ask questions, just because I just want things to be done normally, and I've been bastardized. I am begging His Excellency to please have mercy on me, to prevail over the OOUTH management, not to terminate me, to reinstate me. I have many people that is under my custody. I have aged mother that I care for. My children are there. I'm begging the House of Assembly to come into my aid. I'm begging the Commissioner to please come into my aid. I have never wronged anybody in the past. If granting interview that I discuss nursing matter is an offense, I think it should be first offender. I think I should be warned. Not even to terminate my appointment. I am begging you, sir. I'm begging His Excellency. I am begging the President of the Federation. I am begging all the House of Assembly. I am begging every individual that has good heart to please prevail over these people and return me back to work so that I will not lose my mind. Thank you very much.